No, 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 ma'am, no, sir, no, they, no, them, no, no, no. All right, you saw the title of this video, and as much as it pains me to have to talk about this, here we are. We're going to talk about it. Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul. Here we go. If you are new to the channel, I am Riley Knox. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, and a lot of things that on this subject. If you're new here, please feel free to subscribe if you like what I'm going to say, because I feel like some of you are probably going to either uh, misconstrue what I'm about to say or take it the wrong way or not agree. And listen, here's the thing. You don't have to agree with me. I am going to give you my thoughts and my perspective based on who I am, what I do, what I am, and my life experiences. So if you have been living under a rock, you might have seen the interview with Carlos King that EJ Johnson did, and there was a lot said in that interview. And we've been seeing like clips here and there. And I think from the clips are what's causing the media storm. So there are two clips going around about this interview. The first is one that people really are having a hard time with. And that is when EJ said that they only date straight men and that gay men are not attracted to them and they're not attracted to gay men. And the second part was that EJ feels that they are killing a dress, and no one else is killing a dress or wearing a dress or looks better than them in a dress. All of these things. Now, I'm going to say this as a transgender woman. For those of you who are new, I'm trans, if you didn't already know that. And EJ is, I guess, identifies as non-binary. Their pronouns are they, she now. And it's not the way that EJ was introduced to the world, being Magic Johnson and Cookie Johnson's son at first, or identifying as their child, not as their child, but as their son. And now identifies as she, they, and they're welcome to change their mind or whatever. And I'm always going to be respectful of people's pronouns the same way I want them to be respectful of mine. I'm going to give you guys my perspective from a transgender woman. And like I said, you may not agree with this, and you may think that it is an interesting way of thinking. I have two thoughts, and rarely am I double-minded when it comes to things. The first thing I want to talk about is the first part of the interview that was put out there. And I honestly think it was put out as clickbait. Love you, Carlos. But it was clickbait. And I think Carlos knew that it was going to get a lot of people talking. I think EJ knew it was going to get a lot of people talking. And EJ is probably just living in the reality of their world. I don't think that EJ has a typical life of, just the way that EJ grew up and the way that EJ has access and the people that EJ is around is not typical to what most people are used to. And so I do think that EJ has a very, what's the word that I can use? A very narrow perspective, and a very, oh hell, I'm just going to say delusional perspective as to their life. And I'm not saying delusional for the reason that you guys think. The first thing I want to address is the dating straight men. I understand what EJ was saying. I understand that EJ was saying because in the gay community, there tends to be a whole thing of like no fats, no femmes. Like it's I think people don't understand that within a community that there's discrimination. The same way in the Black community, even though the Black community is discriminated against, within our community we have, colorism. And I was talking to someone white the other day, and I was like, what colorism is, right? And they were like, not really. And I had to explain it to them. And they didn't really get it because they just think like, oh, black people are black. And I think that's what a lot of you guys think of that about, like, well, gay people are gay. But even within a community that's discriminated against, there is discrimination, and there's a thing that they say, which is horrible to say, but no fats, no femmes. They're just not thought of as being like the desirable candidates. The other thing is EJ presents very feminine. The hair, the makeup, the clothes, very feminine. So if someone is attracted to femininity, I understand what they're saying, that they date gay men. Now, you guys can talk about the whole, like, well, if a guy's dating you, then he's not straight. He's either bi or he's DL or something like that. And listen, just because somebody likes both trans women or gay men and also cisgender women does not mean that they are DL. Like, not everybody's trying to hide it. Some people are just private, you know? And that's kind of what I was getting from what EJ was saying. Here's the other thing. I have had so many people say to me, and I'm a trans woman, and I am very girly. I am very, like, glamorous and girly, and, you know, and I will say that, you know, people have asked me before, they're like, and I've even had guys say to me, like, you know, just so you know, I'm not gay. And I'm like, great, because I'm not attracted to gay men. Gay men are not attracted to me. And let me just tell you something. And I was talking about this with a few of my friends who are trans, if gay men like trans women, we probably would never date straight men. It just would not happen. Because gay men there's some beautiful gay men out there. We don't have to explain the culture to them. We don't, or the lingo or anything. They are, I mean, if you are a cis woman and you have gay friends, you know that they treat you very well, or they're beautiful and they're stylish, and, you know, they're just respectful, and you know, some, not all, but you have a great time with them. And I have seen some absolutely gorgeous gay men that I'm like, oh God, if only he liked girls. And I think it's hard for you guys to understand that as a trans woman, a man that dates me is attracted to women, attracted to femininity, feminine energy and femininity, and is a straight man. I'm not here to try to prove that to you guys. I'm not here to qualify that, quantify anything. It is what it is. How you feel is how you feel. I know what I date. I know who I've been in relationships with. And I've also had people say to me, well, Riley, okay, I get it for you because you are a woman. Like, we see you as a woman. You're such a girl. You're this, you're blah, 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 and all this, that. But I don't understand, like, if a guy dates EJ because EJ is a boy and EJ doesn't identify as trans and EJ is all this stuff. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to you. If you don't get it, I understand why a man that is attracted to women and also attracted to a man that is attracted to women and attracted to a transgender woman would be attracted to EJ. Because I feel like gay guys, if they really wanted to be with a girly guy, and not even just a girly guy, because there are guys that are more effeminate, but someone who wears dresses and someone they probably would be just date a girl, right? And I'm not saying this from a place of confusion. I'm saying this from a place of trying to be respectful. EJ's experience is EJ's experience. And like I said, EJ is in a whole different world. I have never met EJ. I don't know EJ personally. I just know my experience as a trans woman. Now, at the same time, EJ is not a trans woman. EJ is, I guess, identifies as non-binary. So it's also a different thing when it comes to what I am versus what EJ is also, right? And then the thing also is, it's a very interesting thing because people always want to label what makes a man gay. And I would say this to you. How do you know if a man is gay? is if he tells you. People identify however they want to identify. And the funny thing is women get to do it all the time. Women get to have experiences in college, or they get to kiss a girl, or they've slept with girls before, but they still are straight. They're not with the girl. There are women that believe, oh, he slept with a man one time, or he has dated a man, he is gay, or at least he's bisexual, or at least he's something. I'm not necessarily saying that, but I am fine with people identifying the way they identify.
Okay, hold on.
If they tell you that they're straight,
here's the thing.
Straight.
As I'm editing this, I feel like I left out some things. What I was trying to say is basically everyone's always looking for a reason to say someone is gay. And I have people ask me all the time, especially women, as if I'm a gay man and know this, but like they ask me things like, well, how do you know if a guy is gay? What if he, like, how do you tell? And then, of course, there's that long list of things on the internet. If he eats a hot dog like this, there's a list of certain things. If he eats a banana, men can't do this, men can't do that. Apparently, if a man washes his butt in the shower, there was some guy that thought, oh, I can't open my butt cheeks to the water because then that means that I'm gay. No, like literally what makes you gay is how you identify. Now, here's the thing. If you're saying that you want to know that a guy is gay because you want to protect yourself as a woman, well, you should be doing that anyway. How would you know? You'll never truly know. You'll never truly know unless a guy tells you. You'll never truly know who's gay and who's not. So, because you never know who's telling you the truth or how somebody really identifies or what someone's doing behind closed doors, protect yourself anyway.
I can only respect that. Especially if they're not dating you. It's not really none of your business. And I think we are focusing on the wrong things in life these days. There's so many crazy things happening in the world. There's so much ridiculous things happening in the world that we're focused on the wrong thing. And also, I think that a lot of you probably have a problem with the fact that you're being called cisgender. I want you guys to look at this because I saw this from a very popular influencer that I follow, and I agree with everything that she said. And I'm just going to play this for you. First thing I'm going to say, though, is it is a scientific term. But just watch this.
Oh, and another thing, I'm not letting no transformer tell me I'm a cis woman. No, I'm a woman, cis.
The concept of wanting to be respected and called what you want to be called, whilst being disrespectful and calling other people something they don't want to be called. You smooth as satin bird brain bitches. The way y'all's minds work is so unique. Because men will call y'all females bitches and hoes, but being called a cis woman is where you draw the line. Yikes on bikes. Because mind you, and I'm going to hold your hand with an napkin between when I say this, the word cis is not offensive or derogatory. It's just a silly little adjective, which I know the children who should have been left behind are adults now with total free will and unsupervised access to the internet, yet y'all never use the internet to educate yourself, so you probably don't know what an adjective is. It's just a describing word. It's just a word that describes another word. All that it means to be a cis woman is that your gender identity matches the sex you were assigned at birth. That's it. There's nothing offensive or derogatory about the word cis. The truth is, y'all think of the word cis as offensive because you've used or view the word trans offensively. But y'all not ready for that conversation, so let's move on. Let's. But okay, y'all don't want to be called cis women. You want to do away with this silly little adjective. I heard you. But if we're doing away with one silly little adjective, we must do away with the other. Which means there's no cis women, there's no trans women, we're all simply just women. Right? Oh, y'all don't like that idea? Why the hell not? Right. Y'all want to describe one without describing the other, But that's not how that shit works. Either all of us get a description or none of us get a description. But y'all think you don't need a description because, oh, I'm not a cis woman, I'm just a real woman. So close. You're actually not a real woman, you're just real fucking transphobic. Because what does it even mean to be a real woman? Quickly! Friendly reminder once again that Google is free 99. Let's find better ways to use our free will. Hope this helps. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
And that is all I'm going to say on that. She said everything that I'm thinking and everything that I said. So please don't get offended when I say cisgender. But that was just a side note, and I really need to get that off my chest. Because I've done videos on here before. You can go back and look at the videos that I've done on, why do we keep calling you guys cis, and it's not, it is what it is. All right. So the other thing is, and let me just say, I am being respectful when I call you a cis woman, or when I say that you're a biological woman, or whatever. And I think what Nay was trying to say in that clip is that, because transgender women exist, we're saying, cisgender is saying that you are a biological woman or that you are a real woman. But also, what is a real woman? Because woman is a social construct. Female is not. You can be female, okay? But women, there are cisgender women and there are transgender women. That's just what it is. My thing is I'm all about respect, and I do not care how you see me or what you agree with, or you think that what I am is wrong, or who I date is wrong, and anybody who dates me must be gay, yada 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 yada, and all this stuff. I'm not here to try to make you a believer in that. But what I want to get to is the second thing that CJ said, which is no woman's killing a dress like me. Like, I go places and I'm out here and no one's killing a dress like me and I look better than any other woman. That's the part that I think is delusional. And first of all, not only did I think it was offensive to cisgender or biological women, I think it's offensive to all women. I took offense to it as a transgender woman, because are you kidding me? Like, there is an entire page dedicated to women killing dresses, or to women dressing fabulous, Fashion Bomb Daily, okay? And here's the thing. Certainly you're not saying that, and I'm not trying to put a racial divide, but certainly you're not saying that. I see black women all the time out here dressed to the nine. Like, black women, we take our clothes very serious. We take how we dress very serious. And you want to tell me, like, that to me is delusional. And I wrote in a comment, I said, there was a biological woman that was saying basically, like, EJ is delusional and yada, 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 and all this stuff and whatever. And I was like, as a trans woman, I approve this message. Because, first of all, EJ is not on anybody's mood board at all. There's no one that says, I want to look like EJ. Now, your life might be aspirational as far as wealth, or things that you have acquired, or that the resources that you were born into having. But nobody's trying to look like EJ. Nobody's trying to dress like EJ. Nobody's trying to, like, and I know this sounds terrible to say, and we're a part of the same community or whatever. No, ma'am, no, sir, no, they, no, them, no, we're not. We're not. No one. And it's very disrespectful to say that no one is gay. I don't understand why you can exist and you can be who you are, but why do you have to shit all over everybody else? As much as women take what they wear seriously and how they present themselves to the world, no one else is killing. Like, I don't know what circles you're in, or I do actually know some of the circles you're in, and yeah, you are delusional, and yeah, they might go up for you in your circle, but I promise you, nobody is. And this is the biggest problem I have with this, because EJ is non-binary, but EJ is closer to the trans side of the LGBTQ community than they are the gay side. And for me, it feels like you just started a war between as if there was already, like, you just said this and just threw this into there and then get to walk away and just started this firestorm of like all these women being like, why do we always have to compete with y'all? Why blah, 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 blah? Why is it always a competition? Why is it always that you guys feel like you have to put us down and all this stuff? I promise you, ladies, we are your sisters. We are not your enemies. We are not trying to compete with you. We are inspired by you. We love you. Absolutely. Please do not feel that what EJ said is the Bible of how we feel. And the reason this pissed me off is because, like I said, EJ, when a lot of people look at EJ, they think of like a trans person. And now you basically threw this into the world, and now all of us have to fight against all the women that are saying like, why do you always have to do the blah, 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 and all this stuff. There's so much discourse. And for me, it just kind of feels like you just got here, you know? The way it feels is sort of like someone, like, you've been working at a job for like, 20 years. And then all of a sudden a new person gets on and is just like, oh no, I want to go against all this stuff and I want to start a union and I'm going to say this and I'm going to do this. And it's like, listen, you just got here. Okay. And then just leaves, and it's like, now we have to fight against all of that. And we have to fight against all the craziness and things that people are throwing at us. And we already have it bad enough. We're already having people think that we're competing with them for, the way that we look, or for being a woman at all, or the men that we date, or we're all dating the same men. All this stuff is just absolutely crazy to me. And that was the part that pissed me off the most. Because I thought, like, you're not the one that's going to get the brunt of this, especially not with your resources and your access, and you really just don't care. Because EJ just kind of lives in their own world, and it's just kind of like la 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 whatever, and I'm just in my delusion, basically thinking that you're on the mood board with your size 14 shoe. No, and I'm not trying to be mean, but like, you're not on any type of woman's mood board for you to say that you're killing a dress and nobody else is. And I say this as a fashion designer. I say this as a woman. I say this as an ally to cis women. I say this as a sister of cis women. I say this as of all women. You are not on anybody's mood board. I promise you. But it just really, like I said, pissed me off, because now all the women are mad at the trans women all over again. And it's bad enough we had the whole thing with Jess Hilarious and T.S. Madison and all the people like saying all this stuff. And I wish that it would all stop. I just, like, everybody respect each other. And as far as trans women and trans people, what we're going through right now with the government and just the world in general, we just want you to leave us alone. Really. But it's kind of hard to say leave us alone when you have people like EJ saying things like this. And I know, like, let me reiterate, like, they are non-binary, and they are not, or at least has not said, I'm trans and I'm about to go through the process of transitioning. As close as it might look. I don't know. But it is just, it really bothered me. And I had to get on here and say something, because I don't understand why it has to be all of this. And you know what the thing is in my circle, you guys know, Monique Samuels is my best friend. Isis King is my best friend. I have other women in my life. I've been surrounded by women my entire life. I was raised by women. I've been surrounded by women all my life. And as my adult life, like, I transitioned 20 years ago, almost 21 years ago, for a lot of you that don't know. And those women, I grow from the conversations that we have. And those women have always wanted to see me win, and I've always wanted to see them win. They have never been in competition with me. I have, on one hand, I have a best friend who is a cisgender woman. I have a best friend who is a transgender woman. None of us are in competition with each other, And when we are having conversations, when I'm having conversations with my cisgender sisters, they are not talking about a competition. They are maybe I'm just surrounded by a lot of secure women, I don't know. But like, first of all, it's not even on the radar. Sometimes they forget. They'll say things like, "Oh, when you were a little girl, they kept the My." I'm like, nope. I didn't have My Little Pony when I was a little girl. Like, it's so much, and I could go on and on and on. I'm kind of rambling right now as it is, but I just wish that we could get to a point when we realize that this is not a war. First of all, and like, we are not. We are your sisters, and we just want to be respected, and we are being respectful of you too. I know I am. I can't say the same for every single person, but the majority of my trans sisters and the discourse in the community is, we're not trying to replace you. We could never replace you because we can't even give birth. But not that you're just needed for that. Like, we're not only can we not replace you, not only do we love you, we also adore you. We do. We adore you, and we just want to be. I just know the general consensus from when me and my trans sisters get together and talk about this, it's not ever about wanting to take the place of women, or we think we're better than women, or we're the desired anything, or that is competition. I cannot speak for EJ Johnson. Cannot. Can't speak for EJ at all. Can't speak for non-binary people, gay people. Can't speak for none of them. But I can tell you that that is not the case. And I just feel like it was a very irresponsible thing to say. And maybe like EJ was trying to be like cheeky and all this stuff. But to me, it was very irresponsible to say. And that was what I had the most problem with. Now, the dating straight men, I get it. I get it. As a trans woman and as an effeminate woman and someone with a lot of feminine energy, I get that part. I get you saying that you only date straight men, but I think that's a little more for you to explain more than it is for me. I date straight men, but I'm also a trans woman. So I mean, it's a whole thing. But as far as like, you're killing the dress and you look better than everybody, I mean, I have a lot of pictures screenshotted that I could prove to you that you are not. But I'm not going to do that to you. Let's just all love each other and not have this war, because it really doesn't have to be this way. There's an actual war happening. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now for people to not have to worry about stuff like this. Honestly, and if you are a cis woman who follows me, a biological woman who follows me, because there are a lot, if you've met me personally, if you've been to my show and met me in the meet and greets or whatever, you know that I live I live for all girls of any kind. And I hope that this channel and this is a safe place for all of that. I've had some nasty things written in comments before on this channel, but I've also had some wonderful things written here, and I appreciate all the women that do support me, both cisgender and transgender women. Okay? It's all love. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Please be respectful, and I will see you in the next video.